That Dad Guy.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to apologize to everyone who was trying to tune in yesterday to the live stream. As a pastor, sometimes I have situations come up that I have to attend to, and that's what happened yesterday. Thanks for understanding and for your patience. But it will be rewarded because Rob and I are here today to bring you exceptional philatelic content.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Hey, Christopher in the UK, welcome.
So it's good to see everyone. So let's we talked about our stamp versus stamp. We talked about the Olympics, about Olympic stamps.
Have you watched any of it yet?
I have been. That's what I was going to ask you. If you had been watching the Olympics, I have.
Yep.
I tell you what struck me was the opening ceremonies. I thought it was cool that they did in several different locations, so athletes that normally couldn't attend were able to attend.
Yeah, I think that was the first.
Well, what struck me is as I was watching it and I was seeing every country come in, I'm like, hey, I know someone from there. You know?
Yep.
And all of that, the whole reason for that is because of this silly thing you and I do on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and so I'm like, oh, I know someone from Australia. I know someone from Great Britain. I know someone from Canada. I know someone from Finland. And so to me, it kind of made the world a little smaller.
Yep.
And so as I'm watching the events, not only am I cheering the USA on, but I'm also cheering some of these other countries on.
Mm-hmm.
Because except for hockey, and I'm only cheering the USA on, not Canada. I just want you to know that. Big match today, I think, in women's hockey.
Yeah, we're without our captain because she got injured by a Czech player yesterday, so we're down an offensive force, I guess, with Poulin not being there. But we won't make excuses. We'll still beat you. That'll be fine.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. I think both teams are playing well, and there's definitely a rivalry there.
Women's hockey, when it comes to Canada versus the U.S., every year it seems to go back and forth with who wins. So it's anyone's game and who's actually going to take it in the end.
Yeah. So it'll be fun to watch.
What I like about women's hockey now too, though, is that the rest of the world has caught up. It used to be Canada and the U.S. would blow out every other country. They would meet for gold, and then one of them would take it at the end. And it became anticlimactic. Now, all the other countries are starting to catch up, and those scores aren't 12-0 anymore. They're 3-1, 3-2. They're getting a lot closer, and there have been some upsets.
Yeah, there have. And I think you're right. I think the rest of the world has caught up. It's made it more competitive, which makes it more interesting to watch. No one wants to see a blowout.
Well, it was like the Canadian, or not the Canadian, the Summer Olympics. The U.S. in basketball would blow every country out of the water for the longest time with their dream team. Now the rest of the world has caught up, and Spain wins, and Germany wins, and there's so many other great countries that can compete in it. It's better in an Olympic sport when all the countries are competitive.
I agree. Any favorite moments so far from what you've watched? We're just a few days in.
I know we're only a couple days in. I really did like the Olympic ceremonies and the way that they were done this year, including everybody. It was nice to see the progression of everybody coming in from their separate countries, but I also liked the artistic side of the ceremony where they showed all the things that Italy has given the rest of the world through all either their art or the inventions that have come from Italians. I really like that aspect of the opening ceremonies.
Yeah. Andrea Bocelli.
I
mean, what a talented man. I thought his song was great. Christopher, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're joining us.
And Ron's on too, I see, from Washington State.
Good to see you. Yeah, some mishaps. Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, that was hard to watch. I've been the figure skating has been prominent, so been watching a lot of that, which is nice. But
From a
Yeah,
Canadian perspective, we had a snowboarder just in practice that went down and had a bad
mhm,
injury, so he had to withdraw from his event. So we've had figure skaters that have had an injury that couldn't compete this time around, and uh, I don't know, yeah, there's been a few injuries to start as far as national ones, but I think
mhm.
there's going to be some good moments coming up too.
I think so. I think
The
so. And
the Italians are leading in the medal counts. The
yeah,
Norwegians again are strong and prominent to getting gold medals on the slopes.
right.
So some of the
Yeah,
things you expect from Winter Olympics.
right. Yeah, and the U.S. We're not doing too well in the medal count yet, but it's early.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's really early
It's
still.
early. We'll have that. We'll have those hockey golds and maybe a few more. We'll see. It's gonna be tight. But so let's uh let's talk about our stamp versus stamp.
Okay,
I have got a couple notes in front of me because I have slept since then.
you may
Uh,
have to remind me. We may have to go particular stamp through at a time and
sure.
like
So we
my
went.
conversations, my stories all come as you know, just come out the fly. I turn the camera on and I just start talking, so I'll have to be reminded again of what I said.
Yeah. So it was just we each picked three stamps and for six stamps total about the Winter Olympics, and we told stories about those. They might have been true, they might have not. I've got the stamps written down. I can kind of run through them if you want
Sure, let's do
to
that. Let's go
jog them.
stamp by stamp of what we
Yeah,
did.
and then we can kind of, if we remember whether our story was true or not, we can reveal that.
And some of the people that are on that are typing maybe can give their insights of what they think.
Yeah. So first, the first three will be the three stamps that you chose.
Okay.
The first was that great souvenir sheet from Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
uh, where it honored the medalists from the '94 Lillehammer games, and two stamps, one stamp featuring figure skating, one stamp featuring the biathlon.
Yep.
Really nice mini sheet, souvenir sheet.
So
You
I
remember?
think I talked about Oksana Bayou and her medal winning performance. Remembering
Mhm.
that, I couldn't remember the biathlon or the biathlete that won
Mhm.
their bronze medal, but I think my story was more about remembering the athletes and some of the accomplishments, which is
Yeah.
100% true. I do remember that. Um, so unless I added anything else to that story, I don't remember. But I think it was more memories of athletes and what they accomplished, and the
Yeah.
fact that countries like Australia put out stamps celebrating all their gold medal winners. I think that's a really cool idea. So that's 100% true as well. I wish Canada did that. That any athletes that medaled, you
Mhm.
would give them a little bit of immortality by putting them on a stamp.
Right. Yeah. So I took a different route. I talked about my dad, about the fact that he had a boot and saddle shop, which is entirely true.
Hmm.
Dad did. He had it for 30 something years, my entire life. That's what he did. But I talked about him receiving this ice skate in the mail, and that it belonged to a U.S. figure skater, and he repaired it and sent it back. And maybe that was the one she used in the Olympics to win the gold medal. Yeah, that was totally false. Um, Not sure my dad ever worked on a figure skate. Uh, Maybe he did. I don't know, but yeah, that one was pretty false, and I thought I made it plausible, but yeah, not at all.
Yeah,
Uh,
everything up until the point where you started talking about the tongue of the skate, which said isn't tied down with laces or anything. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, that's the part because the tongue. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Anyway,
Mhm.
the second stamp was my favorite of the three stamps you chose. It was a stamp from Norway
Oh yes,
um,
yeah.
for the Winter Olympic Games 1952 in Oslo. Because it was just it wasn't the stamp wasn't specifically Olympic. I didn't think in theme. If
No,
it
no,
if it didn't have the Olympic symbol on it and the fact that we said, hey, this is for the Olympics, you wouldn't know. It was just a great outdoor winter scene,
yeah.
and I love that. First of all, it's an older stamp, so I like that. Two colors, blue and white. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, my favorite of the three stamps you picked by far.
Yeah, it had that early print look to it. That's kind of why I was drawn to it. There was a couple other ones I was thinking about, but didn't want to give that one up. As far as my story about it, I think I talked about the destruction or something of beautiful landscapes by creating Olympic villages. I don't
Yeah,
that the beauty would never be the same, or I don't even know
right,
where I went with that story. I guess there's some truth into what I said, but it really wasn't a memory or anything.
right. So the only comment that I got on my videos about whether a story was true or not was about the story I told about this one.
Okay.
And it was a story I told about how when I was a teenager, my youth group went to New Mexico. We went skiing. We're on the hill 5 minutes. First run down, my mom breaks her toe, and she's out for the rest of the ski thing. And the comment I got was, "That's entirely not true. Your mom's going to be upset if she hears you tell the story." First of all, both my mom and my dad have passed away, so and they were both had good senses of humor, so I think they'd been okay, whatever. But that is entirely true. Uh, that really happened. It was like 1993. And yeah, the first, we went to Red River, New Mexico. The first time down the hill, mom gets to the bottom, and I mean, it's not like a big hill. I mean, hill is, it's like a molehill, okay? And my mom goes, "I'm hurt." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "I did something to my foot." So we took her over, we got her checked out, and her big toe was, it's broke. Her toe's broken. And the guy's like, "There's no way this happened with the ski boots and the sock." And yeah, so that was my mom's only skiing event, I think, of her entire life, was one run down the slope, and then she spent the rest of the week by the fire and reading a book or something. I don't know, but yeah, that was entirely true.
I was
Yeah,
thinking that was going to be a false one. Oh, hey, Joe. I see Joe's on from India now too.
yeah, good to see you.
Because once your foot is in one of those boots, I don't know how you'd break it unless she broke the toe trying to jam her foot in the boot to begin with. That's the only thing I could think of that she could break her toe, because once it's in that boot, there's nothing that's going to go through it unless you driving a bullet through it or something. Ankles,
Yeah,
yes. Legs, yes. But toes, no.
yeah. I don't know. It was the medic guy there was like, "I've never seen anything like this. It's just our family does crazy weird things, and
Yeah.
how she did it, I'll never know." Because they were like, "Was it broke before this?" And she's like, "No." But yeah, entirely true story.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, and then the last stamp you picked was that bobsled stamp from Canada,
Yep.
the Winter Olympic Games from Calgary, and yeah, it was a cool stamp, kind of a pixelated.
Yeah, it was very 80s looking when it came out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was definitely a bygone era of 1987. I think it came out to support, try to raise money for the 1988 games, which at that point were the first games that ever made money, which was kind of a neat thing about
Uh-huh,
1988 too. I know
uh-huh.
some games have gone on since then because of sponsorships and all sorts of things, but that was a first for Calgary 88. Yeah, my whole story on that was all the memories, whether it was Eddie the Eagle, whether it was the Jamaican bobsled team,
Mhm.
Katarina Witt. There were so many great memories out of '88. It was 100% true for mine because that was the pinnacle for me for watching Olympics and having them all recorded on those VHS tapes that I never really went back to watch again, but I had them at one point. So, but yeah, so that was the stamp wasn't beautiful. I wouldn't say that, but the memory of Calgary '88 was.
Yeah. No, the stamp was not beautiful. It was clearly 80s,
Yeah.
and unique for that matter, because you're not going to see a stamp like that produced for it. I also went the bobsled route. The only thing I know about bobsled is what I said was Cool Runnings. That was the year the Jamaican bobsled team won.
Yeah. So
Oh, they remember Eddie the Eagle, and
yeah.
you're in Dubai. It's probably warmer in Dubai than it is here, but it's not. It's like going to be 33 degrees Fahrenheit here today. It's a heat wave.
Yeah.
So not bad. Yeah. So I told a story about my uncle, who's a fire captain, and how him and his wife were in a restaurant, and they had come across uh, one of the actors from Cool Runnings, and my uncle had Heimlich when he could see his men, and that was totally not true. My
Okay.
uncle was a fire captain, fire chief, one of those. His entire life, he retired from the fire department, and he and I've talked. He did some really cool things. but he never met Dougie Doug that I'm aware of. I wish he would have. That would have been cool. So yeah, that wasn't true. Don't even know that Dougie Doug ever went to Tulsa. Maybe he did. I don't know. Yeah. So the next three were the stamps I picked. They were all from micro countries because that's what I wanted to do.
I noticed that.
And, yeah, the first one was from San Marino. It was in honor of the games in Salt Lake City, Utah, in 2002, and it was this bunny that's skiing. That's a really bright, vibrant cartoon stamp. Really like it. Yeah.
I think my story about it was more just to talk about the stamp itself and what all the different colors meant and the diversity. And
Yeah.
it may be true, and I don't know what the artist was thinking when they did it, but for me, it was all a fabrication of what I was seeing from the stamp and just spewing out gobbledygook.
Yeah. So I talked about rabbits that I raised. So this is true. Growing up, we lived in the country. I was in 4-H FFA. I showed sheep and I showed rabbits. At one time, we had over 200 rabbits, which was crazy. I showed a couple of different breeds of rabbits. One of them was mini lobster, the floppy ears, and I talked about the difference in the color. That's all true. I had a prize-winning rabbit that I named Charlie. He was King Charles I. The rabbit I had after him was King Charles II. The rabbit after him was King Charles III. Wasn't even thinking ahead to when we were going to actually have another King Charles in Great Britain. That's all totally true. I talked about going out and taking care of the rabbits and the barn floor being a little icy from hosing it off and then dropping him and him doing a little skiing, skating thing. Yeah, that's not true. That never happened. But part of it was true. The whole rabbits and only the rabbit thing, that was right. But yeah, don't think rabbits ski. Never
No,
seen it.
probably not.
Yeah. Next was Andor. It was the French administration of Andor, and released in '92 for the games in Albertville, France. The next Winter Olympics will be in France. It's going to be in the Alps.
Yeah.
And so this was kind of I don't know, kind of a weird stamp, I thought. Used to breed show rabbits, silver fox. I know some people who raise silver fox. I never had them. They're pretty rabbits. I always thought they were a bit temperamental, but that's just my opinion of silver fox rabbits. But they are really pretty.
I think
Anyway,
I did the same thing that you just did a second ago, and I had to correct myself. I called it Andor rather than Andorra.
Oh yeah,
Andor,
sorry. It is
Andor's in Star Wars.
That's right. Sorry, Andorra.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. You're right. Yes, Andor's a whole different thing. This stamp is not from Andor.
It would be kind of cool to do some stamps from Star Wars. That might be a future stamp versus stamp. We could use a little AI and create different planets and stamp. I don't know, maybe.
The force is strong with this stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Dark
it.
side stamps versus light side stamps.
Oh, I like that too.
There's people on here. They should be commenting.
You should be commenting. Do you want to see a Star Wars light side versus dark side, stamp versus stamp? Like seriously, give us some thoughts right now because I'm really digging it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Anyway, so the Andorra.
Yes.
It's this guy skiing, and then there's this kind of big eye behind him. Just look, I thought it was kind of an interesting stamp. Okay, that would be awesome. That's one vote. Yes, that's really all we need to do it, I think.
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, really excited about it. All right. Star Wars sounds good. That is 2 votes, yes.
Thanks, Ron.
All right. Great. So do you remember the story you told about that stamp?
Vaguely. I remember talking about the world being on the pressure. Yeah, the pressure on athletes that go to represent their country, and that eye being the eye of the world that's watching them, and just being an Olympian should be something you should be proud of, not necessarily take on the whole we've got to have gold or nothing. You hear
Right.
that a lot with Olympians that they're going for gold, and I get it. You want to win, but just representing your country and being selected to be at the Olympics is a
Uh-huh.
huge achievement when you think of all the people that would like to be there that don't meet those qualifications that you've had to pass. You're in a very select few people that gets to be an Olympian to represent your country. So that
Mhm.
eye of the world watching you. Once again, I have no idea what the stamp really means. I was just taking my impression of it. So it was more of a take, I guess, to say
Right.
I'm proud of all the people that are there representing all their different countries, not just the ones that are representing Canada, but everybody who's getting a chance to be an Olympian is an amazing thing. So that eye of the world, don't take it as pressure, take it as pride of all the people that are watching you.
Right. So I told a story about the ski resort that I went to in high school, about how back in the 1800s the traders, it was a small village. The traders would go and check the pass in the winter.
Mhm.
About one fateful winter when they were lost, and they had this prayer vigil for them, and then in the wee hours of the morning, here they come marching back with their lanterns, and the pass was open, everyone was safe, and now they have this yearly festival. That is true, but not for this place I was talking about, and not for me. It was something I read about some other town somewhere, and yeah, I just kind of stole it and applied it to this stamp.
Yeah, the
Uh,
story sounded familiar, but it didn't sound 100% familiar.
right, right. So it was something I had picked up from someplace else, and thought, hey, that'll be good. Lightsaber duel.
I don't know how we do that
I don't
across
know
all
how
the,
we.
but
Yeah, I don't know how we do that. We'll have to work on that.
I,
Yeah, I've got to be the dark side. Which sounds weird because that's what I do, but yeah, I think they're more interesting characters, and so we can talk about that too.
yeah.
And the last stamp was from Monaco for the games in Innsbruck, Austria, which they've talked about some during this Olympics. They've talked about Innsbruck, and I'm like, hey, I know that
Yeah,
because it was
Innsbruck's
19.
hosted a couple times, so I
Yeah,
guess
19. This was from 1964, so before our time.
yeah.
Uh, and this also had a bobsled on it.
Hmm.
So we
I
both picked.
think my story was more about that the color scheme of the stamp was black and blue because the early days of being in a bobsled threw you around, and you were an athlete. If you were an athlete with in a bobsled, you probably ended up being black and blue at the end, and so 100% not true why
Right.
they chose the colors. And that was probably one of my weakest stories and things because I just really didn't know what to say about that because it was a bobsled, and I knew I was already talking about
Right.
the Jamaican bobsled team with regards to the stamp that I chose from 1988. So I
Yeah.
was kind of at a loss of what to do, but I was interested in that style of bobsled because it had a almost a physical steering wheel rather than a pull system that they have now with the
Mhm.
sleds, and
Right.
the handles on the back in order to push the sled to begin with. It
Uh-huh.
reminded me of a ladder going into a pool, so it looked like they were just taking bits and pieces of things to put them together. So, and maybe that's what
Right.
they did to create the first bobsled.
Possibly. Darth Smokey. I like it. We'll see if we pick it
Darn Smoky.
up. So I really remember the story I told because I talked about a gentleman who was a NASCAR driver who Luke Dad Guy who was watching the Olympics, and the U.S. had never done well in bobsledding, and he discovered that the bobsleds that the U.S. team were using were all made in Europe. None of them were made in America, and so he created it's a 501c charitable organization dedicated just to making bobsleds in America to use for the Olympic team. That's entirely true. That's a thing. You can look it up online. And this guy took all of his knowledge from being a NASCAR driver and all of that with the dynamics of how the cars have to be to put into making bobsleds for the U.S. team. And then I talked about a gentleman in my church uh, who is a what's the stinking word I'm looking for? A engineer who went to work for this company and helped develop bobsleds. So I do have a guy in my church who is an engineer, and he has worked on some really cool things. Never a bobsled.
Okay.
So a little fact, a little fiction,
Yep.
but in the end, Charmaine, how you doing?
Welcome,
Yeah,
Sherman.
not a true story at all. So I only had one true story,
Hmm.
and that was the one about my mom breaking her toe. All because I don't have really any stories about Winter Olympic things, and so I had to really put on the thinking cap,
Well, I
try to
think
make
most of
something.
your stories seem very plausible, so it was
Well,
hard to
thank you.
figure out which one wasn't true. And like I
Mhm.
said, the one I thought that wasn't true had to be your mom breaking her toe because I don't know how you break a toe inside of a ski boot, but
Yeah, I don't know either. And I thought it was interesting our two different styles.
hmm.
And we've found this throughout the time we've been doing this that we're different when it comes to this, but I like it. You're more. It's hard to tell with you because it's coming as you go, and so I can really. I'm like, okay, is he really videotaping all the Olympics? Because I can see you doing that, and then I'm like, you know what? He could just be making that up. Like, are you an idiot? Why would I sit and videotape 2 weeks worth of Olympics? So sometimes it's real difficult for me to tell what you're thinking,
Yeah.
because you do it quickly and you do it well.
Right.
It's not like you're sitting around going, yeah. So this one time, yeah, there was a guy. That's right. Uh,
Well, people always say if you kind of look off, you must be lying. I tend to do that a lot when I'm thinking, and I notice you do that too sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
It I think it's kind of a response. You're always staring at this camera. You're by yourself doing these
hmm
things as I am right now in this room.
yeah.
And
Me too.
rather than just staring at that little green light on my phone or
hmm
looking at myself as the image, which you can see in your eyes if you're too close and you're just looking at your image, not the camera.
Yeah.
I tend to kind of look away and look around a bit.
hmm
So
I've had people ask me, "What are you staring at?" And I'm like, because I do this a lot. I'm like, nothing,
yeah.
nothing. The door to my office is over here, so maybe I'm like, oh, making sure no one's creeping in or something. Yeah, I do that too, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because we don't want to just
Yeah, that's right. Just don't want to stare at yourself the whole time. I have the window out of my office right over here, so I do
yeah
look out every once in a while to see, a person walking their dog by or whatever they happen to be doing, or the mailman's maybe driving by or something.
yeah
So yeah, I get distracted sometimes by what's going on out the window.
yeah yeah. I have a window too. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's stuff that happens, but I find myself looking this way more. I caught myself doing it,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, well, I guess it's what I do, so
yeah.
that's fine.
So it's not our tell that we're lying. It just means that
No,
it's our
most
tell
people.
that we get distracted easily.
Yeah, that's what it is, and it is sometimes. You're just in a room by yourself looking at a camera,
Yeah.
and sometimes you're like, okay,
I think knowing because I watch YouTube videos too and other people doing it
yeah,
is that for the person that's making the video, you don't quite realize what they're doing on their end of it.
right,
They us people that are watching right now can see us interacting with each other
mhm,
through our screens, but
mhm,
really I'm in this room by myself and
yeah,
I'm talking to my phone. Oh,
right. Me
and there's
too,
another phone.
yeah, and it's weird because um, I try to explain stamp versus stamp to some people and things, and I'm like, yeah, the guy I do with he's in Canada. Like, well, how do you do that? And where'd you guys meet? And I'm like, well, we've never really met in person.
No.
Uh, we just do this video thing and that's another thing, stamp versus stamp. Maybe people don't know how we do that. We've done a couple live, Zoom calls where we're actually talking to each other, but most of the time it's a phone, it's a live chat or whatever with each other off camera,
Yep.
and we plan it out, and then you go do your thing and film your bits, and I go film my bits, and then somehow we put it together, and that's weird when like with the Doctor Who, which was one of my favorites we did
Oh, that was a great one. Yeah.
when hashtag Doctor Who, uh, feeding having to feed off of each other
Yeah.
without exactly knowing what the other person was doing.
Yeah, very hard, but a lot of
Hard
fun.
and a lot of fun. And you're in a room, and you're whizzing around and doing stuff, and like you're the king of wardrobe changes. I never, I don't ever change wardrobe. I don't think during a video. During this last one, I think you changed 23 times.
Well,
So,
you grew up with Mr. Rogers. I grew up with Mr. Dress Up, and Mr. Dress Up had a trunk that he called his tickle trunk, and inside
okay.
that he had every imaginable costume that he could ever need for every one of his episodes. So if there's anything I'm embodying, I'm embodying the spirit of Mr. Dress Up. So hashtag Ernie Coombs for all he's
Okay.
done for children's programming. So
All right. Yeah. Yeah. We did have, I did grow up with Mr. Rogers, but not Mr. Dress Up. So
no. He's the
what was
Canadian
it?
equivalent, and they worked together to on a lot of stuff early on, and so yeah,
Yeah,
they crossed paths quite a bit.
good. A lot better than the Teletubbies for children's programming.
I suppose so. I didn't grow up with them, and neither did my children. So, but
My
I do know of them.
my daughter did, and I'm like, you're not watching that, but that's a whole other thing. Uh, so I don't know anybody that's watching the live stream. If you've got a question for Rob or I, shoot it out there. We're more than happy to answer it, unless it's a U.S. Canadian hockey thing.
You can
Then
ask those too if you want, but I
I
think our
guess
group is mostly Americans on, other than Christopher, by the looks of things.
I think so.
And I saw that Christopher remembered who Eddie the Eagle was, representing his country. And I did say he represented Great Britain very proudly, even though I know the Olympic Committee. Well, I know it from the movie. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but in the movie that depicted the British Olympic Committee really didn't want Eddie there because he wasn't a top athlete, but he did represent the country well.
What movie was that?
Eddie the Eagle. I think it was called The Eagle. But
Okay.
it was all about Eddie's life and him growing up, and
Okay.
where he had to go off to Austria and Germany to train to do it, and it was really well done. I can't remember the actor that did it, but I can see his face. I can't put his Eddie Redmayne maybe was the actor that played him.
All right, Charmaine says she has that movie. Is it true I was born in 1977? Yes.
That wasn't the lie.
That was not a lie. That is very true. Yeah.
You were thinking that Smokey was much older than me. Was that what you're trying to come up with?
Sure.
I've got the gray hairs to prove that I'm a little bit older.
My wife is older than I am by a few years. Okay. And people always think that I'm the older one, which she loves, and it doesn't bother me. It's the beard. If I ever shave my beard off, you will tell it tells my age. I was being polite.
Mine's coming off soon.
Is it?
Yep.
The whole thing?
I'll go back to the goatee. I always have a goatee, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'll go back to my spring, summer, fall look. The coldness of winter seems to be waning here. I'm sure there's still going to be a couple days, but it's getting in the way.
Right. 1977 is a great year to be born. So your son must be a great guy. That's all I got to say. Yeah, the last time I was trying to think, the last time I shaved my beard off, I looked back in my phone for pictures. It was maybe close to 10 years ago. So it's an interesting story. I won't be able to use it on anything else because you know it's true. My wife and I were leaving to go on vacation, and I was waiting for her to get home from work. She was working like half a day, and I was getting things ready. And I'm in the bathroom. I look in the mirror. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shave my beard. And I shaved it completely off.
Yeah.
And my wife got home, and she was very surprised. And she was like, "What have you done?" I'm like, "Well, I've shaved my beard." She's like, "But we're going on vacation. We're going to be taking pictures, and we're going to be doing this, and this is how you're going to not have your beard, you know." But yeah, if I shave it off, I look I look 12. That's what I
The
said.
only picture I remember seeing of you without a beard is your wedding photo.
Yeah.
It was a picture I think you shared that had you and your
Mhm.
father in it on your wedding day.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you got a good memory. Yeah, I had kind of a light goatee then, and a lot more hair on top. I was wearing a cowboy hat, so you couldn't tell how much hair I have. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I was 25 in that picture. So that's been a year or two ago. Yeah. But yeah. So lots of things in the Olympics. Um, I I was watching skiing and I found myself. Well, I'm sitting with my wife and my oldest daughter last night. We're watching some downhill skiing, and it's the U.S. was out of it. They were way back, 15th place or something, and I think my daughter said, who are you rooting for?" And I said, "I think Austria." And she
Okay.
goes, "Why?" I was like, "Because they've got really cool stamps." And I was like, I think they've got better stamps than whatever country where they were, was in second place or whatever. I can't remember who it was. And I
Yeah.
said, she just started laughing at me. She's like, "Okay, Dad." Uh, but yeah, I think it shows, and philately does that too. Philately shows how small our world is, and how just this little tiny piece of paper unites people.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Charmaine used to do downhill skiing.
Yeah,
Go
she's from
you.
Colorado.
Yeah, yeah, go you. Uh, Applause. I was talking to some guys yesterday, and I said I could do that. I would be the guy in a snowball at the bottom of the hill because I would just kind of avalanche, and you just come pick me up and take me to the hospital.
I used to downhill ski as well, but probably not on the mountains that Charmaine has done. She skied in Colorado. Mine
Yeah,
were much smaller.
probably not.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
In
I live in
Breckenridge.
Breckenridge. Okay,
Mhm.
all right, all right. Go Broncos! Who
Yeah.
got this close? This close.
As every other team says, well, there's always next year.
There is always next year,
Yeah.
so we'll see. Well, I don't know.
I
You got
got to
anything
see that
else?
the Patriots didn't pass the Steelers record for the most Super Bowl wins, which I was happy about. So
I
we're now still tied.
I was also happy. I didn't I caught a little bit of the game. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, it
Don't
was
have many
kind of
down.
boring. I watched a little bit of the second quarter,
Okay.
watched the halftime show, and then I watched a little bit on my phone, and that was about it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. By the time I got around to it, it was fourth quarter, and I'm like, really, we haven't scored a touchdown, and the only the touchdowns weren't scored till the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree. The Patriots lost. That's a good thing. And I'm not a big Seahawks fan either, but I guess the lesser of two evils for me.
Well,
Uh,
for me, I'm not cheering for anyone that is in the AFC because that's where the Steelers play. So
well, that's where the
once they
Broncos
got
play too. So
eliminated, so I went
yeah,
NFC. So
I agree. Yeah, didn't watch any of it because I was sick. Sorry to hear you were sick. Hope you're
are you
feeling
feeling
better.
better now, Charmaine?
Steelers are getting a new coach.
They did get got an old coach, but they got
Yeah,
new to
used
them. I was kind of
used to.
disappointed with that. I like the fact that in the past, the
Mhm.
Steelers don't tend to have a lot of coaches over their history, but
Right.
when they picked Mike Tomlin, he was in his early 30s. He
Yeah.
didn't really have this NFL resume, but he was able to do what he wanted with the Steelers for the next 20 years or 19 years.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now you're putting someone in who's got a bit of a pedigree, has had a championship win with Green Bay, but
Mhm.
he's going to come with his own baggages, right? So how's that going to work in a Steeler defense? Is that what he's
Right.
going to do, or is he going to change everything?
Right.
So wait and see, I guess. And are we going to get a returning Aaron Rodgers again for another year and another year older? Is he going to go somewhere else? Or are we going to have nobody? I don't know. Lots of
Uh,
question marks.
yeah, I don't think you're going to get Aaron Rodgers for another year, which may be a good thing for you. Um, and I think Aaron Rodgers needs to go home and retire.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But
Oshild, welcome. I see Oshild's on now
yeah,
from Norway.
nice. Charmaine, I saw your message. I hope you get to feeling really better. There's been a lot of cold and flu going around here too, and so take care of yourself. National Rugby Champ. Yeah, I don't know that I've watched an entire rugby game ever. Have you, Rob?
My daughter played rugby in high school, so I have seen some games. Yeah,
Oh, so yeah,
and my
it's
wife
not.
played rugby a little bit at the university too, so I'm
Oh,
familiar.
nice. Yeah, it's not as popular. I don't think here in the U.S.
Yeah,
Uh, it seems like like football on steroids, I guess. American football on steroids.
yeah, without any protection.
Right, right.
So it's a much more physical. I mean, they don't
Yeah,
hit as hard, I guess, as in American football, but when they hit, there's no padding to protect them.
right, right. And then I guess the ball is always in play.
Yep, and it's a larger, it's fatter ball too, so
Right, right. So,
it's not as easy just to palm and stick under your arm and run.
right, right. So, I've
And
seen bits and
you
pieces.
can't pass forward either. You can only pass backwards.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no padding. Yeah, that's you got to be tough. I played American football,
Mhm.
and I loved it through school. But
What position did you play?
I played offense. I played center, and then defense. I played defensive tackle. I played both ways.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I loved it. I love defense more because I like hitting people. Uh,
Good for a pastor.
it is. I always wanted to play linebacker, but I wasn't fast enough to be a linebacker. That was my dream.
Did
But
you read what Ron just wrote?
we had rugby's once had. Oh, Ron, that's funny.
Mm.
That's funny. Rugby's had to get the old exterminator out.
Yep.
Get rid of them. Yeah.
So we have an idea maybe for Stamp versus Stamp for next month already.
I think so. How long have you been a pastor? Uh, believe it or not, this year is 30 years. It'll be 30 years. I think I've got my ordination certificate diploma behind me. I can look at it and see. I think July will be 30 years I've been pastoring.
Wow.
It's I've been the church I'm at. I've been here 13 years. So yeah, it's been a long time, long time.
You started very young.
I started pastoring my first church. I was 19. Oh, your uncle's a pastor. That's awesome. Thank you for saying it's cool. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I love it. Yeah, I love doing what I
If
do.
you started at 19, did you go to divinity school?
I did. I did. So I went. I went. I did some stuff during high school, and I got licensed to preach while I was still in high school.
Okay.
And so I did a lot of stuff while I was still in high school, and then I got out of high school and I went to school, and then I started pastoring while I was in school and finished up there. So
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, and yeah, I took even now I still study. I still uh, have to catch up on Hebrew and Greek and refresh myself on those things. How big is your flock? Well, I haven't showed sheep in quite a while now. Uh, we've got about 50 people that are every Sunday people, and then of course Easter, Christmas, all the fun days. We have more, but and then we have a really big online presence, uh, which has shocked me. Starting in COVID, during COVID, we started live streaming. So we live stream on Facebook, and then we put our stuff on YouTube. And yeah, we get a couple hundred views a week from YouTube and Facebook. So that's good.
So how's the new church going?
The new church is going well. I'm here right now. Spend a lot of time here. We we've still got some projects we want to do. There's 2 rooms that we want to make one big room, so we've got to tear down a wall. We have an upstairs here that was built kind of as an apartment, and so we want to open that up. That's going to be our primary use space. So it has its own kitchen and stuff up there. So that'll be for, like, middle school, high school kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going really well. Yeah, we're very very happy with it, and it's working out great.
What's happened to the
Um,
old space?
the old space, the American Legion,
Oh, okay.
they're using it. So yeah, uh, yeah, it worked out well. It all worked out real good. Yeah. Maybe someday I'll do a tour of the new space.
Mhm.
I'll walk around and show you guys. Maybe I'll do a stamp or churches on stamps thing, and I'll show you my church. I just have to get up and walk around, and
Yep.
I don't want to do that right now.
Mhm.
Postcard from Hungary, uh, Macau. I have not received a postcard from Macau. Have you, Rob?
Um, I don't remember, honestly. I'd have to go look in my file to see if I have a little tab that
You,
says Macau, but probably
yeah,
not, because
yeah,
Ushield said there's only 600 post crossers there, so it's pretty rare thing to get one, at least through post crossing. I may
yeah,
have
and
gotten one through someone who traveled there, but
right. And there are some, uh, there are some countries that just have just a small handful of post crossers,
yeah.
and you're like, oh, I'd really like to have one of those, but you're happy with whatever you get. Post crossing, was a year or so ago. They changed things up, because for the longest time, uh, I would get Germany, and that's about all I would get,
Yeah.
which is fine. Um, and then I don't know, post crossing did something with their algorithm or whatever, and uh, it's a better mix now. I think. I don't know about you, but what you think? But
Yeah, I mean, the biggest post crossers or the biggest post crossing countries are the United States and Germany. So you're going to get tons
yeah,
of cards from those just based on percentages. So when you get one of
mhm,
the other ones, a Macau that sneaks its way through, it's really
yeah,
special to get one of those. But I'm like you; they're all strangers. They're all people that I wouldn't have had a connection with
mhm,
if it wasn't for post crossing. Whether they're all from Germany or some from
right,
Finland or Norway or wherever they're coming from, it's
mhm,
it's nice to get those cards. And there's very rarely I ever get a postcard that is the same as someone else sent before, unless they're looking at hedgehog cards. Sometimes I get the same hedgehog card because there's only
sure,
so many of them. But
yeah,
what I really like, probably the same as you, is the stamps that are on it. And usually, if
yeah.
you might get the same international postage stamp from Germany within the same month, but a couple months difference, you're going to get different stamps, which I like.
No, I like that too. I I'm really wanting to get a postcard from one of the micro countries.
Hmm.
Probably not going to happen from the Vatican. I don't think the Pope is a post crosser.
Never
Uh,
know. He's American now, so it's within that demographic. So
maybe,
he
but
just might not have time to do it.
might not have time. If you're watching, send me a postcard.
Yeah.
Uh, but one of the micro countries I think would be. I think that would really make my day, because I love the stamps from there so much, and the history. The history is really why I'm drawn to the micro countries, and then the stamps also. So yeah, that would
There's
be.
there's a lady right now who's at the Olympics who's a reporter, and
Mhm.
one of the things she's looking to do is to send postcards from the Olympics, Olympic postcards, off to all 50 states, to all the Canadian provinces, and then now she's expanded because it was such a popular thing. So many people wrote in, that now she's sending as many as she can all over the world, which I think is a really cool idea.
That's
She actually wrote
awesome.
me back because I wrote and said, "Oh, I'm from New Brunswick," just thinking that maybe not many people from New Brunswick would write to her, and
Yeah.
she actually did write me back. So I was impressed. I don't know if I'm going to get a postcard,
Yeah,
but
just let's say, are you going to get a postcard?
I don't know. We'll see what the mail brings one day. If I get one, I certainly will show it on my Friday videos. But I was
That
just
would
happy that she responded.
that would be amazing. 2 wooden postcards.
Wow, that's good.
That is cool. And are you going to send them? I assume you're going to send them. And is it going to cost you more to send them?
No, they won't.
It won't. Okay. Well, I didn't know because of the weight. If they were
Yeah. Usually the wooden postcards aren't really heavy wood. So,
okay, yeah.
and they do travel through the postal system. They don't get crushed in machines or anything. I think probably they get hand sorted aside when they're thick like that because they don't bend.
Right. Yeah, sorry to say they're not bending through a machine.
Because I've gotten them in the post before. So,
Okay. Yeah, that would be an interesting postcard to get. And I haven't seen any out in the wild, or I'd have bought them.
Get a question there from Charmaine for you.
Oh, do you have any stamps from Yugoslavia? Yes, I do. I would love to tell you how many and what they are, but without looking in my album, I don't know. But yes, I do have a fair amount of stamps, I think, from Yugoslavia. Yep, yes, they're not big or heavy. Yep. So you're just confirming what Rob said. I guess they're made out of what, probably balsam or
Yeah, I think generally something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
The ones I really like when you get them from Portugal usually is the cork ones.
The cork, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you ran at 10K before you started watching our video.
Wow. Good
Well,
on you.
You deserve a little break, I guess. Wow.
Or a
Go
piece
you.
of chocolate cake, maybe, or
Something, maybe a steak. You deserve something.
yeah.
If you see me run a 10K, you call somebody. Something bad
Someone's
wrong.
chasing you.
Someone is chasing me. Something bad wrong is happening. Oh, so your mom sent you some the other day from oh, that's awesome, from your grandmother's collection. Yeah, Yugoslavia had some good stamps. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Good stamps. Yeah, so I think we've got a start for next month's stamp versus stamp.
Yep, we'll have to iron out some stuff, but
which is probably gonna take a little work on our parts.
I'll have to check what's in my tickle trunk.
Yes. Oh, okay. The postcards are made from maple wood. Well, all
Okay.
right. That's good to know.
Maybe they're Canadian trees.
Maybe they are. They make a lot of maple syrup where I live. It's pretty good. I'm just saying. I don't know if it's Canadian maple syrup good, but it is pretty good.
I'll have to send you a bottle. You can compare.
Okay. I'll send you a bottle of Thorpe maple syrup, and you can tell me.
You should just send me cheese. That's what you're known for.
I can send you some good cheese, that's for sure.
I'm sure your cheese is better than my cheese. So,
have I ever been to Ashland, Wisconsin? Yes, I think so. I know that's a weird answer. I think I've been through there, heading to somewhere else. So not like, hey, I'm stopping here and hanging out. Oh, I got maple syrup. Okay.
It's anywhere that has maple trees can potentially have maple syrup.
Yeah. That's very true. So.
Yeah. I don't think wooden cards do go through the sorting machine. I think they get hand sorted separately.
They've almost got to. They can't make that.
No, they'd crack.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's up there on Lake Superior. I've been up that way, Charmaine, but I just don't remember. Oh, your dad was born there. Well, that's cool. That is cool. Maple syrup is good. I think we could really have a conversation about it. I like the darker stuff. I don't know about you.
I like Aunt Jemima. I guess it's called the Pearl Mill Company now, I think.
Yeah, it is, but it's yeah. So, well, we've almost reached an hour.
Yeah.
So we probably should wrap this up. Hey, thank you, Rob. You'll notice, y'all, this is a celebratory event. I've had a live stream where I didn't have any technical difficulties getting this thing going.
No, it worked out great today.
Well, I'm doing it on my phone, like you suggested about 30 years
Oh, are
ago.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Somehow that's a lot easier than trying to do it on your laptop. I don't
Well, I
understand
did notice you were wearing your glasses, so.
Yeah, so I can I wear contacts, but I can't read the I gotta have reading glasses to read the comments.
Mhm.
So how many left of 3,000, Rob? Not many, right?
I think 8.
So if you're watching this and you have not subscribed to That Dad Guy, what are you waiting for? Go
Thank you,
do it.
thank you.
Yeah, be the
Appreciate it.
one who is the 3,000th subscriber.
Yeah, we've got something planned, I think, but I haven't ironed it all out yet. But it won't happen
Right.
as soon as we hit 3,000, but
Right.
it will happen after it. Yeah.
And if you want to know how many till I reach 3,000, we're about 2,890.
You'll get
Or
there.
something like that. Yeah, so that's fine. But no, well deserved, Rob. I was looking at that today. I was like, he's close. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Anyway, well,
Ashton.
Rob, yeah. Well, Rob, thank you for joining me on this. It's fun as always. I'm sure
My
we'll be
pleasure.
talking in the coming days
Yeah,
about
we'll get
next
more
month's
stamp versus stamps.
Stamp. Thank you, Charmaine, for subscribing to both our channels. We really do appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
It means a lot that you take the time to subscribe and to watch and comment, and thank you everyone who's hung out with us as we've talked about stamps and Olympics and the dark side, the light side of maple syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
And if
well,
you have other ideas for what you want to see potentially at a stamp versus stamp, leave them in the comments. Even if you're watching this in replay later on, not live, go ahead and leave us a comment so Smokey
yes,
can relay it to me.
yes, we like suggestions. We've used them before because sometimes it's hard for Rob and I to come up with something.
Yeah.
Or we get an idea and go, I don't think we can really do that.
And sometimes stamp versus stamp has almost nothing to do with stamps, which sometimes we have to try to bring it back a little bit because I know most people that are tuning in really want to see stamps. And maybe that's why not as many people watched this particular one because it was more about us telling stories than it was the stamps.
Maybe, but we always have a good time.
Yeah.
And we always try to include stamps. Some.
Yep.
It's not always the bigger theme, but we do try to include it. All right, well, we're gonna sign off for now. Rob, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And thank you all for watching. Till I see you next time.
Have a magical
Have a
week.
great day. Bye.